Dear students, I am Ria Joseph, Assistant Professor, Christ College of Engineering. Here in this session, we are going to see some of the multiple choice questions from Geotechnical Engineering. We are mainly dealing here with some of the questions asked from fundamental soil properties in PSC exams and SSC exams. Coming to the first question, in oven drying method for determination of water content, temperature to be maintained is option A 100 to 105 degrees Celsius, option B 150 to 160 degrees Celsius, option C 105 to 110 degrees Celsius, and option D 110 to 120 degrees Celsius. Here the correct answer is option C, which is 105 to 110 degrees Celsius. Correct answer is 105 to 110 degrees Celsius. Before that, we have to know what is this oven drying method. Oven drying method is a method used to find the water content of the given soil sample. The given soil sample is weighed and the wet weight is noted, and the same soil sample is kept in oven for 24 hours, setting the oven temperature to 105 to 110 degrees Celsius. After 24 hours, we ensure the complete drying of the specimen. We will be taking out the specimen from the oven and we will be taking the dry weight. As we all know, the water content is equal to weight of water by weight of solids. We will get the water content of that particular soil. So the oven temperature to be set for 24 hours is 105 to 110 degrees Celsius. A soil generally consists of combination of dash separates. Answer is option B, which is a soil generally consists of a combination of 3 separates. So, as we all know that the Terzaghi, who is a father of soil mechanics, has made a three-phase diagram for soil mass. That is, a soil mass on close observation consists of 3 phases. That is, a solid phase which constitute the soil grains, water which is present in the voids of the soil mass, and air also which is present in the voids of the soil mass. So there are soil grains, and these soil grains has spaces in between which are called as voids, and these voids are filled either with water or with air. So 3 phases that we can see in a soil mass is solid, water and air. Third question is, hydrometer analysis is based on the principle of option A is Newton's law, option B is Darcy's law, and option C is Stokes law, and option D is Terzaghi's law. So here your answer is option C, which is Stokes law. So Stokes law here mainly deals with the terminal velocity of a spherical particle which is falling freely. So the main limitation of the Stokes law is that it is considering the soil grain as a truly spherical particle. So in hydrometer also, you are taking the soil grain as a truly spherical particle of diameter d, and it is settling with the terminal velocity v, which is formed from the Stokes law. So your fourth question, density of the soil is the diameter in mm such that option A is 60% of the soil are coarser than this value. Option B is 60% of the soil is finer than this value. Option C is more than 60% of the soil has this diameter, and last, it is none of this. So from the particle size distribution curve, we can get the values of D60, D30, D10, etc. To get the value of D60, we will be taking the size which is corresponding to 60%. That is, your answer here is option B, which is 60% of the soil is finer than this value. So for D60, we will be getting a value in mm, that is D60, if D60 is equal to 1.2 mm, it means that 60% of the particles in the particular soil mass that you have taken is smaller than 1.2 mm. That is, 60% of the particles in the soil mass that you have taken is having a size less than 1.2 mm. So your option is option B, which is 60% of the soil is finer than this value. Which value? D60 value. D60 value is a value which will be given in mm, and this D60, D30, D10 values can be found from the particle size distribution curve. You have your fifth question. Select the correct statement regarding porosity. They are giving you three statements and you have to show which all are the correct statements. Your first statement I have given is, it is denoted by the letter N. It is a ratio of volume of voids to the total volume, and porosity has no upper limits. So here, which are the correct statements? They are asking you which are the correct statements. Porosity. What is porosity? Porosity is volume of voids by total volume. What is, you should not confuse between void ratio. Void ratio E is volume of voids by volume of solids, where porosity is volume of voids by total volume. So volume of voids by total volume, the statement 2 is correct. You know the porosity is denoted by the letter N. But the porosity has no upper limit. Yes, porosity is having an upper limit. So your third statement is wrong, and you are coming to the options. Correct statement is option C, 1 and 2. That is, your statements 1 and 2 are correct. In the sixth question, degree of saturation and air content are related to each other as, they have given you 4 options, option A, option B, and option C and option D. Before going to these options, we have to see what is degree of saturation. So degree of saturation SR is equal to volume of water by volume of voids. Air content denoted by AC or capital AC equal to volume of air by volume of voids. So here we can see both has the denominator as volume of voids. So if you are trying to add these two ratios, that is, if you are trying to add SR plus AC, what will happen? Just try. Volume of water by volume of voids plus volume of air by volume of voids. You are having your denominator same. So it will be equal to volume of water plus volume of air whole divided by volume of voids. What is volume of water plus volume of air? You know that volume of water plus volume of air, water and air together will constitute the volume of voids. Water and air together constitutes voids. So volume of water plus volume of air will be equal to volume of voids. Denominator is volume of voids itself. So here both the numerator and denominator are same. So the answer, this will cancel and you will get the answer as 1. So which option is right? You have the option SR plus AC equal to 1, and your correct answer is B. So you are having a 7th question. Higher value of maximum dry density suggests that soil has more water content, soil is dry, soil is densely compacted, and the last option is none. Maximum dry density is greater means the soil is densely compacted. That is, you are having your compaction curve where on the x-axis you will be having your water content. On the y-axis, you will be having your dry density. And after compaction, you will be getting the compaction curve like this, and the peak value gives you the optimum moisture content, and here the peak corresponds to maximum dry density. So, maximum dry density is the water content corresponding to optimum moisture content, where you are getting your soil as densely compacted. So, your option is option C, that is the soil is densely compacted. Here you are having your 8th question, the average coefficient of permeability of natural deposits. You are having 4 options. Here your correct answer is option A, which is parallel to stratification is always greater than perpendicular to the stratification. Here it is assumed that when the water is flowing in a direction parallel to the different layers of soil, it is known as parallel stratification. That is, these are the different layers of soil. These are different layers of soil, and the water is flowing in this direction, which is parallel to the stratification. You will get a coefficient of permeability, which is known as Ks. Similarly, if the water is flowing in a direction perpendicular to the layer of stratification, that is, these are your layers of soil, and the water is flowing in the perpendicular direction like this from above all through these 3 layers, then you have the coefficient of permeability, which is denoted by Kz, which because it is in the z direction, perpendicular direction. So it is said that always the value of Ks is greater than the perpendicular stratification Kz. Ninth question. If the material of the base of the Casagrande liquid limit device on which the cup containing the soil paste drops is softer than the standard hard rubber, then. So for this we know that to find the liquid limit, you are having a Casagrande apparatus. In the Casagrande apparatus, you are having a cup. This cup is raised and lowered and is dropping with force onto a standard hard rubber. Here the question they are asking is that instead of this standard hard rubber, you are having a softer rubber. What will happen? So for that we have to know what is liquid limit. How you are determining the liquid limit? Liquid limit is determined using Casagrande apparatus, and the liquid limit is the number of blows, the water content corresponding to 25 blows. That is, we are raising and lowering the cup of the Casagrande apparatus, which is filled with the soil paste, by giving a groove through the middle of the soil. So we are counting number of times we are raising and lowering the cup, and these grooves which we have made in the middle of the soil paste should close each other. When these 2 soil masses with a groove in the middle comes closer and touches each other, that is the water content that we have to note. So liquid limit is that particular water content at which the 2 soil masses come closer by 25 number of blows. 25 blows is required for the soil masses to come closer. That particular water content is known as the liquid limit of that particular soil. So here, instead of standard hard rubber, you are using a softer one. Since a softer, this cup raises and lowers and drops on a softer one, it is difficult to the soil mass to come closer. So it's natural that we have to make the soil more, we have to mix the soil with more water. That is, we have to increase the water content. Then only the soil mass will become more pasty, more consistency will be more, and the soil mass will become more loose, and it will come closer by 25 number of blows, to and fro motions of the cup. So your answer is the liquid limit of the soil always increases. That is the option A. The liquid limit of the soil, if we are using a softer cup instead of a hard, using a softer rubber instead of a hard rubber, you will be getting a greater water content. So that you have to use a greater water content, that is the liquid limit of the soil is always increasing. Your 10th question, Tersaghi's theory of one-dimensional consolidation assumes the first option, soil is homogeneous and fully saturated, water and the soil particles are incompressible, deformation of the soil is entirely due to the change in the volume, and last option is all of the above. First three are the assumptions of Tersaghi's theory. So your answer for the 10th question is D, which is all of the above. That is A, B and C are the assumptions of Tersaghi's theory. So these 10 questions we have discussed is from the fundamental properties of the soil, and these are some of the relatively simpler questions that is asked in the PSC exams from these fundamental properties of soil. So in the next classes we can go through some more difficult portions, difficult MCQ questions which has been asked from these topics. So till then, thank you.